Hey folks, Bill here from Survival Lore. Thank you for joining me today for another video. We're going to talk about a kind of heavy subject today. We're going to go over emergency signaling and things you can do to assist if you need to be rescued, if you ever find yourself in a situation in the woods. This comes on the back of some recent events. I'm sure some of you have seen about the hunter that passed away in Mount Hood Wilderness up in Oregon, Devon Dobek. Uh, I don't know Devon. I know a couple people who knew him. From all accounts, he was an excellent woodsman. Um, and it's really unfortunate for his family, his friends, and our thoughts go out to him and them. But in light of that, I wanted to touch on the subject of signaling. Because there are things you can do that can help prevent that. It's not a guarantee, but you can always try and weigh the odds in your favor as best possible. Um, One thing we can do is leave our plans with people when we're going out. My wife always knows where I'm heading, and she always has an idea of what we're doing and what I'm going out to do. So she knows where to come looking if I don't meet my time when I tell her I'm going to be home. So one thing you can do, Jason Marsteiner, who owns Colorado Mountain Man Survival, he's talked on this subject a few times the past few weeks, and he actually put together a life proofing PDF. So it's a downloadable sheet. He has it available. I'll put a link in the description down here to his sheet he has on his school. But you can leave all your information, your plans, what time you're going to be home. Fill it out and just leave it with somebody. Even better, leave it with a couple people if you're going to be out for a while. But I'll put Jason's sheet down there, and you can read his stuff on Facebook. The stuff he had to say about Devon and what happened with that. But today I want to go over some things I recommend taking and doing to help signal for rescue if you find yourself in a situation like Devon did, or anybody else. The fact is, this has happened quite a bit the last few months. This past year, you had Devon, who unfortunately passed away up in the Mount Hood National Forest. Ron Dailey was a 65-year-old from California, I believe. He got lost for 20 days in the Sierra Wilderness. Luckily, he survived. There's a couple other ones. Who was it? Tiffany Slaton. She's a young girl, 28, 30, somewhere around there. She was lost for 3 weeks in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Luckily, she survived. And there's a fourth one that's coming to mind. Lukas McClish. I believe he was lost for 10 days in the Santa Cruz Mountains for 10 days. And luckily, he was found alive. But all of them will tell you it was not an easy experience. It was rough. It can change your life forever. The physical ramifications, the mental ramifications can take a toll on a person from stuff like that. But that's just four examples in recent time. This happens a lot more than people think. More people get lost and die in the woods than you would think off the top of your head. But to get back to that, there are things we can do to hedge the odds in our favor. There's nothing that's foolproof. There's no 100% thing that's going to make sure you're found or saved. But there are some simple things we can do and take with us that can greatly increase those odds in our favor. So we'll get into that. First thing, if you don't carry GPS, which even if you do, you should still be carrying a map and compass. You can see I'm in Forbes State Forest right now. I don't know how it'll pick up, but this is the map of my area where I'm at right now. I have a base compass in here, protractor, stuff I need to navigate if I get lost. I can use the terrain recognition, the topo distinctions on there, and I can find my way out. Luckily, I have the skill to do that and the ability to do that. Not everybody is that fortunate. So if you have that, or a GPS, or both, if you carry both a GPS and a map and compass, even better. But at the minimum, you should always have your map and your compass with you and know how to navigate and get yourself out of where you're at. So having that can lead towards not getting lost as well. So we'll touch on the map and compass there. Next up, we're going to go through a couple simple things. We'll start here. Something I've started carrying in recent years everywhere with me. This is made by Jay Berry over at Tough Possum Gear. This is his survival scarf. This is a multi-use piece of fabric. It is a big, giant. It's hard to see here, but it's a big, giant sewn scarf. On the outside, this is, I believe, Ranger Green. This one is about 50 inches, or actually longer, by about 24. And you can flip it completely inside out. And you have a big fluorescent orange signaling cloth, multi-use item here. You can crawl in this using as an emergency piece of cover. I've stuffed it with leaves before with my kids and showed them how to use it. You can simply, if you're lost, wear it around your neck, drape it over. Grab hold of it correctly. While you're sitting there warming up next to a fire, you can do a lot of things. You can hang this in a tree. Being creative is going to go a long way towards leaning towards self-rescue here, or being rescued by searchers. So think outside the box. Hang this in a tree. Do whatever you think will help. You want to put this as high as possible. Let people know where you're at. So we have this. It's a survival scarf by Tough Possum Gear. I'll throw a link for this down in the comment in the video description. Next up, we have this. This is a signal panel holder by Lester River Bushcraft. I'm going to rip it off here. Show you it has Velcro on the back and it mounts to anywhere, hook and loop. You don't have to have that to keep this with you. It is a nice signal panel, has a couple chem lights. So inside here, pull that off. We have a signal panel with grommets in each corner. You can use that, hang it on the back of your pack, hang it up in a tree, whatever it may be. And this isn't a one-use item. You can use this in camp for other things. You have this one has camo on the back. I use this to catch shavings. I've used it as an eating mat, grab hot pots and stuff before. But this is a good signal panel. This is, I believe it's 18 by 18 or right around there. And you can use that to signal for help. When you're out in the woods, fluorescent colors like orange, yellow, green, and even fluorescent blue is a good one to help people find you. Again, with the Tough Possum Gear, I'll set a link for this down in the video description. I just want to cover these couple things real quick because they're not necessarily things everybody has, but they're items you can get relatively inexpensive and keep them in your gear for when you go out. And the nice thing about that Lester River Bushcraft signal panel holder, it comes with the 2 chem lights, so you can crack those at night, light up, and if you're still out at night, use one at a time. I think those last 8 to 10 hours. There's a number of things you can do. Tie it to the end of a string, spin it around after you crack it. It's going to be a big signal out in the dark. With that flying around, that's a good way to get found. So for me, I'm going to bust into here. This is just an orange Kafaru pull-out. I have a bunch of different signaling things in here. Not necessarily everything that I carry, or do I carry this every time. But I do carry a number of things from in here with me whenever I go out now. So we're going to go over this. I try to have my emergency kits in orange braid pouches. These are all little signal things you can use if you get lost. Tie a string to here, hang it up in a tree, guys. Put some rocks in it so it's weighted. Put it up high so people can see it. You have to remember, think outside the box. That's a big thing that's going to help you survive out there. First thing we have on top. This is just an orange hunting vest. You know what I'm talking about, the fluorescent orange Allen hunting vest. If you're lost, take this out, throw it on. Again, you'll stick out like a sore thumb in the woods. Nothing here, again, is going to guarantee it, but if you have this and people are out looking, it's going to be a lot easier to find you when you're surrounded by orange things hanging, fluorescent colored stuff. This makes you stick out in a green forest, or even like I'm here, out here in Fall in Pennsylvania. I'm up in Forbes State Forest. This will stick out like a sore thumb. That's why hunters wear it. So keep that in mind. This is a simple Allen hunting vest. You can get these Walmart, wherever it may be. Have a notebook. This is a Write in the Rain notebook. The waterproof sheets in there. I always have a pen with it. I took this out of my map and compass right here. I keep that with that. You can write notes to leave, and if you're lost and you're trying to navigate your way out, tell them what your plan is, what you're doing. That having the ability to leave notes for rescuers, if you're moving and trying to self-navigate out, is a big deal. So we have our Write in the Rain notebook to leave notes and messages. So that's another thing you can do. Flagging tape. I carry a full roll anymore. I just keep this in my pack, in my emergency kits. This, again, fluorescent orange against the contrasting background of the fall or even a green forest. Hang these strips up, get them fluttering in the air. If people are near, this is going to make you a lot more noticeable. You want stuff that breaks people's gaze when they're looking out in the forest, when they're searching. So they see there's flashes of brilliance up there in the woods. They see that it might be an orange emergency blanket hanging up, blowing in the wind. You can get it, let it flap up there, have the silver and the orange going. It's going to get a lot of attention if someone sees it. Same deal with this. You just rip the strips off, tie them in tree branches, make it your own little orange forest right around you. Anything you can do to assist people in finding you in the woods is going to go a real long way. Got a couple more things in here. Small flare. These are made by Orion. They make various size ones. This one's about 8.5 inches. This will burn for 15 minutes. I would not light a flare unless I heard someone looking for me. So I hear someone yelling my name. I hear someone calling. I hear a helicopter overhead. That's when I'm going to light this off. I'm going to wave it, make all kinds of noise. If you've been there a little while, you have your signal fire set up. Light your flare, light your fire, wave it, get people's attention, things like that. So we have signal flare, something great, or this is just a emergency flare. Great item to keep in your emergency kits for signaling. What else we got? Just a couple chem lights. We talked about these with the Lester River pouch. So chem lights are always great. These are blue, I believe. Again, I forget what the term is. You tie them onto the end of the string and spin them around. In a clockwork, in a circular motion, makes it a lot bigger signal, a lot more noticeable. Have a few chem lights in your kits, guys. So, get down to the last couple things I have here, but I think for me are probably the three most important things. We'll start here. We have a signal mirror. This is a UST Star Flash mirror. I have a couple other ones. This tends to be my favorite and my go-to. They work really well. That star in the center does help for sighting and using. They're relatively inexpensive. I think they're $10, $12 now. But having that, being able to signal people from distance, especially if you're not ambulatory and you're stuck somewhere, even in the trees and stuff, if you can catch any bit of sun, this is a really good reflection on here, and it will help gain people's attention. Next up, maybe the most important, if not one of the top 2 or 3 with the signal mirror in my next thing. This is a storm whistle. These, for my money, are the loudest whistles, the most effective whistles you can get. They are not the smallest, as you can see, but they are loud. 3 blasts, wait 30 seconds, 3 blasts again, wait 30 seconds, and then 3 blasts repeated again. 3 sets of 3. That's a good way to signal for rescue. Wait 5 minutes, repeat. Your times don't have to be exact, but get it close to that, and that's a universal rescue signal. You can blow on this for a lot longer than you will ever be able to scream. These are simple to use. They use very low effort. Around your neck it goes, and you have them with you at all times. It's that simple. So these 2 things should be in your kit, if not on your person, every time you go to the woods. The last thing I have here is something I've been really testing out and getting into putting in kits. I think I bought 5 of these now. They're in both of my kids' kits. My wife has a backpack, and I keep an extra one in the car, along with keeping one in my pack now. This is a Tektite's battery-powered marine flare. So, I'll show you what it does. You turn that top globe, and it has a bright, flashing SOS light. This runs off 2 CR123 batteries. It's kind of windy out here on top of the mountain in Pennsylvania. This, at night, if you're stranded on the side of a mountain, somewhere in like a national forest, the Sierra Nevadas, if you can get this up, turn that on, and I carry a piece of cordage with it. This is green reflective. You get that 15, 20 feet up in a tree, let that go, and these batteries last forever. I think it's 72 hours it will last if you just let it go nonstop, or no, it might even be longer. But I carry an extra set of CR123s. This is huge because this can be seen from miles away. Yes, I know there are flashlights, headlamps that will do flashing, It really doesn't come off because it's daylight here, but that flashing is ridiculously bright. It's weatherproof, it's durable, and it's made to do that. So you can see it has a weight on the end. You tie that cordage to it, hang it up in a tree. When it gets dark, this has a really good chance of being seen from distance. A lot of times we hear people were found not too far from their last known location. If you have searchers looking, yes, they will probably be looking at night. Have this out. This can go a long. There's a reason ships carry these in their lifeboats. These can be seen from miles away. Yes, in the forest you have tree cover, uh, you have terrain in your way. But if people are looking, this is going to greatly increase your ability to be seen. So for me, this is something I highly recommend now. These are made by Tektite. These are made in the U.S. There are a bunch of different ones. After the reviews I read, this is one I went with. They're not inexpensive. Um, they're not too expensive though. This is about $75. I'm going to turn that off. And you just adjust it with the globe. It twists back and forth. Doesn't have any switches you have to rely on. The globe is sealed with O-rings in there. But that's something relatively small. Yes, it's not tiny. It does have a little weight to it. You see there are a metal weight on there. But that's something that can go a huge way in getting yourself found. Especially if it's a rough time of year, if it's late fall, winter, especially when there's no leaf cover, you better have one of these in your kit. Like, I don't have any affiliation with the company, but these just make sense. There's a reason ships use them at sea, because you can see them from distance. They are bright. They send a signal. This will help. I don't go out and show primitive skills that often, guys. That's not what I do. I know them. I can practice them. I do them. Maybe we will get to them at some point. But my main function with this channel is to teach people some basic stuff, show them some basic gear, that they don't have to fear the woods. They can go out, have the stuff they have, and if they run into a bad situation, they have some knowledge in how to get out. Having some of that, you don't have to have all this equipment here. I don't expect everybody to carry all that. I do expect you to carry a map and compass. I do expect you to carry a signal mirror and a whistle. Have one of these if you can afford it. Have a flare if you can afford it. Have that orange hunting vest. These are inexpensive. The signal panel holder. The Tough Possum survival scarf. I think the most expensive thing here is this. It's $75. I think the Leicester River signal panel holder is about $50. And I believe the same, maybe a little more for the survival scarf. Everything else, each item's under $10 or right around there. So there's no excuse not to have them, folks. I do care about this subject. This is why I do this. It's why I like showing survival kits and what I put in there. I do spend a lot of time out. I'm out here in the middle of the forest on the top of the mountain in Pennsylvania. It is middle of November. It's about 38 degrees. This is my favorite time to get out. I got out today. Actually slipped, and let's see if I can show it. I busted my glasses. Luckily, I had some Gorilla Tape because it was in part of my survival kit. If not, I'd be hurting. I wouldn't have my glasses. But I carry it for things like that. It's just when you have the stuff with you, you will see the times when you run into things and you'll need it. So keep that in mind, folks. I hope this video wasn't too disjointed, but I wanted to kind of give people that information. Let them know. You can look up Devon's story, Ron's story. I know Ron Dailey, the one who was stuck in the Sierra Wilderness for 20 days, has done a couple interviews now and talked about what happened through him, and I'm pretty sure so has Tiffany Slaton. So, Devon Dobek, your family, your thoughts, your friends are in my prayers and thoughts, and I wish them nothing but the best. It's unfortunate, and if we can take some lessons, and again, this isn't saying he had or didn't have things. This is just showing why you carry these. So, thank you guys. This video is getting on about 20 minutes, and I don't want it to go too long. So, thank you, folks. Thank you for the support. I'll list all that stuff down in the description so you can find it if you want to get it. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.